Hey, everybody. It's Kick-Ass Kylie. I have the amazing, actually, we've got the Tassie team on tonight. So I've got two of my favorite humans, travel buddies, and leaders. We have Jeffrey Ross and the beautiful Trish Howard. So we are coming to you guys live. Of course, most of you will be watching the replay. And as you all know, each Tuesday night we come together for our Dream Team Hour of Power to be able to connect as a community, to be able to get questions answered, to deliver the hands-on coaching and support that our peeps need to get, all of those questions answered. But most importantly, to get you what you need, whatever that looks like, to be able to get in the game, because we are actually playing a game and we want to make it fun, but we also want to make sure that we're setting you up to win. So we've actually got a really cool little agenda tonight. I love when Jeff and I get together and we, plan out these calls, and we've absolutely got a powerhouse call for you tonight. So to kick off the call tonight, we're actually going to roll into community. And, it's funny. I used to own 13 gyms. I know, right? Crazy. And we used to have massive growth in our gyms, but the most important thing that we had was retention. When people came to our clubs, they stayed. And they didn't stay because we were the best club. We had pretty average facilities compared to a lot of the other clubs. Some of our clubs didn't even have air conditioning. And so, often people would kind of go, why would I pay you this much when I can go down the road and go to, whatever the big ass gym was, with 10 times more equipment and way better facilities than what you guys are offering here? And they joined and they stayed because of community. And it's such a magical thing when you can create community with people, because people crave connection. It's one of our core human needs. And so Jeff and I are going to tag team in this first part of this little segment. And so, Jeff, I'm actually going to hand over to you, because I know that you were just so excited about sharing this, the three levels of community today. But I just want for everybody just to preface this, like, this is something, when you get community, your whole world will change. And it's not just building your DreamTrips business, and it's not just building your network marketing business. This can transform your life, your family. Like, you think about your life and all of the different communities that you're in. What Jeff's about to share with you is actually relevant in all of those communities. So on that, I'm going to hand over to you, my amazing friend, to take us through the three levels of community.
Yeah, thank you, Kylie. Hey, truly appreciate you and everything you stand for. And before I do, I just want to speak about the result, the impact of community. And I know Kylie can really relate to this story too. Like, this year has been an interesting year. It's been a big growth year.
Interesting.
It's had its challenges. It's had its fair curveballs thrown at us. And so I was in hospital, around Easter time this year. My son was in hospital. He lost the ability to walk. Kylie was in hospital with her boy. And the beautiful thing, and I know, Trish, you played your role here too. This is the beautiful thing about community. When you don't have to do life on your own. When you find your tribe will support you. Your tribe has your back. I had people reach out to me left, right, and center. Hey, Jeff, how are you going while you're in hospital? I know Kylie had the same impact. She had Chris, who actually came and visited her and took her son and gave McDonald's and, went through that whole experience. Like, that is the impact of community. Like, if you're going through life and you're lonely and you're lost, like, we're not created to do life on our own, to stop it. One of the beautiful things about community is it's there to support you. But not only that, it's there to help lift you up. And if you've got it in a community where it's just full of gossip and it's toxic, well, you're in the wrong community. You need to find the one that offers you love, offers you grace, offers you support. Like Trish, there's not numerous times in the last 6 months, we've had complications with kids and all that sort of thing. And Trisha just put her hand up straight away. Jeff, I got your back. Bring the kids around, and I'll look after them. Like I had to go to hospital the other day because I had a 6-day migraine. I had my occipital nerve in the back of my head flare right up, and it turned into a massive migraine for 6 days. So I went to hospital, went to a doctor, go get it checked out, and they rushed me to hospital to go get a scan because they thought I had a brain bleed. Like I was at hospital till like 1 o'clock that morning. Trish said, "Yeah, bring the kids around here. I've got them." And that's the power of tribe. That's the power of community, right? And there are 3 aspects to getting this right. Like I really believe that there are 3 core things that every community needs to have. So we all need that person that's helping us lift us up, our mentor, our coach, right? So they're the person that's, got their hand down and bringing you up to the top of the mountain. Even professional athletes have a coach. Now, your coach needs to be, your mentor needs to be someone who has the success that you're wanting in your life. If you come across a coach and all they're doing is coaching and they don't have another business or anything like that, that's a red flag. Run for the hills. So like if it's us, whether it's Kylie, whether it's me, whether it's Trish, make sure you have someone in your life that has the success that you're wanting to emulate and that's helping you up. A good mentor will know that you'll outgrow them. A good mentor will be there to support you and champion you without having any hidden agendas. It's all about making you the hero. So like a good mentor is a hero maker, not just the hero. So that's one. Then the next step in this whole process to having a really good, vibrant community is having someone beside you. I like Kylie and I now, like Kylie was my mentor, but now Kylie and I, we're in battle together. Like Kylie and I are in Trish even, like, we're in that same environment where we're running this whole business side by side. We've supported each other and, gone through that experience. I was Trish's mentor, Kylie was my mentor, and now we're side by side. I'd go to war with both Trish and Kylie. I know that they've got my back. I'd go and get in the foxhole with them because I've got their back. And when you have a true team, when you have a true community, when something like that happens and one of you gets thrown a curveball and you need to bow out for a month, a week, or whatever that is. Sorry, I just got all emotional for a second. Our team's got our back.
Yeah.
Our team will pick up the slack. And that's the beauty of a community like this, right? I know that I'm off to Mexico. Kylie's going to step in and fill that gap and look after my team for me while I'm in Mexico, and I can just be present, have an amazing time, and go and rep Australia and be, just be present and add value to people's hearts. So that's 2. So you have someone above you and you have someone beside you that not only that, the other thing to add to that as well, that somebody beside you will help keep you accountable. They're a running buddy. Whether it's a weight loss, whether it's a network marketing business, whatever that is, you need that running buddy beside you. The other thing too, right, is life is fucking hard enough on its own. You need to have someone beside you that'll pull you up when you start getting in stinking thinking mode. You need someone that'll kick your ass with love to hold you accountable and get you out of that stinking thinking mode. Because this thing here is a very powerful thing. I've been on the edge of depression. I've been on the edge of suicide, and I've got at the other end. I'm at the top of my game, but I know mindset and affirmations and prayer and faith and everything else in between, and having people by my side helps support me in that space, and I can just grow. So, our thinking leads to our feelings lead to our actions lead to our results. And so having someone beside you who understands that can help you either get in a downward, get you out of a downward spiral and get you back into an upward spiral. So someone beside you. And then it doesn't stop there, right? It's our turn to pay it forward. It's our, once we've got the oxygen mask on and now we're getting success, we need to be making sure that we've got our hand down and we're helping other people up. Now we become the hero maker as well. Now, I don't care where you are on that journey. The only difference between Kylie and me is she's a little bit further down the road in her areas, some areas. The only difference between me and Trish is I'm a little bit further down the road in her in some areas, and she's further down the road than me in some areas, right? We're all somebody's guide. We're all taking someone out of Sucksville and helping him get to Awesome Town. So just to recap, we have someone above us that's championing us on. We have someone beside us who's our accountability and foxhole, go-to-war partner. And then we have someone below us who we're in return helping up. Now, I believe when you get those three core ingredients right, you have an awesome community.
I love that, Jeff. And I think with community also comes like the essence of the community or the values, the culture of that community. And, one of the things that I'm so proud about our community and our team here at DreamTrips, and Jeff and I have worked really, really hard to establish this culture with our team, is we do everything from a place of love. We have a foundation of love and integrity, and we make it fun. This is our family. This is our fun family. And I just absolutely love going on dream trips. I love jumping on these Zoom calls. Like, it's always fun. I always feel loved and supported, but I also know I can trust every single person because they're doing everything from a place of love and integrity. So it's just so nice when you can be in that community of love and integrity and trust and know that you're supported. And, as a single mom, there's been plenty of times where, you do feel alone. But I also want to just talk for a moment on community to all of those strong, fierce warriors and warriors and maiden warriors. One of the things that we struggle with is actually asking for help and actually being open to receiving that support from a community. So, whilst we offer this amazing community for you to be able to be supported, have that support and running buddy, and be able to mentor somebody else, because contribution is another one of our core human needs. We also need to get this right. We need to make sure we're in the right mindset. We need to open our own hearts, and we need to be open to receiving and open to giving in equal proportion. So, being open is really important as well. And I love what Jeff said. We become the power, we become the average of the 6 people that we hang out with. And, I identified a few years ago, I was hanging out with a lot of people who drank a lot and, who partied, and, they never had any money. They were always broke, and, they were happy, had a great life, but they really, didn't have anything to show for it. They're always struggling financially and, really struggled to get ahead. And so whilst, they might have been having that short-term fulfillment, they weren't where they wanted to be long-term. And that really, I could never even see happen. And I remember one day thinking, and they smoked and did a whole heap of, didn't go to the gym, weren't healthy. I was like, oh my goodness, if I'm going to be the average of the 6 people who I hang out with, I actually got to change my friends. And I love these people and I care for them and I'm still friends, but they're no longer in my inner circle because I had to consciously identify who was in my community, and I had to change communities. So around the health side, I joined the gym, and I was just so grateful that it was about the same time frame that I was going through this whole interchange that DreamTrips relaunched post-COVID. And so, I was reconnected with that DreamTrips community that, had fallen apart for 3 years because of COVID, because of the pandemic. And I cannot believe, if I look back in reflection, and, sometimes you only get the lessons when you look back in reflection and join the dots, right?
Hindsight 2020.
And I could not believe the difference in who I was with that former DreamTrips community to losing that community through COVID to then regaining that community and who I've now become out the other side. So, I cannot underestimate the power of community, but also be mindful to identify who's within the community that you have around you, because you will become an average of the 6 people who you spend the most amount of time with. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And just on that too, I came in because, I joined DreamTrips because of who Kylie was. But I stayed because of the person who I became and the support and the community that I had around me. And when you get your values right and you get the vibe right with your community, it's very attractive or it's very repellent. And that's okay. You know, it's okay to make sure that you're attracting the right people in, because your core value and attributes will attract the right people in, but it'll also repel the wrong people.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's a really, really important point, Jeff, and a really important point for everyone to remember is DreamTrips is an invite-only travel club. Actually, no, we're a VIP invite-only travel club. So you can't actually join our community unless someone's invited you. And I think it's a really important point. Now, yes, you know, we all want to serve and help and make an impact to the world, you know, and nobody should be discriminated against. We've also got to remember some people aren't ready to join our community. It's not the right timing for them because they're on their own journey. And, you know, if they're in that space of victim, negative, blame, complain, like this is not the community for those people. It's not to say it isn't in the future, but you got to remember, you know, is that the sort of person you want to build a business with? Is that the sort of person that you want to go on a dream trip with? Like, I don't want to hang out with someone like that. No, I don't want someone constantly dragging me down and, you know, that energy vampire that sucks the life out of your soul. You know, we're the fun people. We're the happy people. Yes,
we're known as the fun, crazy Aussies for a reason.
Oh my goodness. We like everyone when we go on a dream trip wants to be adopted by the Aussies. They come hang with us because we're crazy and fun and we're positive and, you know, we are a pleasure to hang out with. You know, one of my mentors taught me, and this is Mr. Martin Ruoff. I remember a call many, many years ago. And, you know, he talked about one of his, you know, keys to success was being a pleasure to deal with. Like actually be a pleasure to deal with, you know, so like, oh, my upline leader doesn't support me. Well, how are you showing up to that relationship? Even though that might be your mentor, how are you showing up? Are you, when you show up, are you constantly whinging, blaming, complaining and, you know, being the victim? Or are you being grateful and, you know, showing appreciation and being open and coachable and taking action? And so if someone's not mentoring you or supporting you, then, you know, you got to look in the mirror and say, well, why is that so? And also trusting in the process because everything happens for you. And, you know, maybe your mentor's dealing with some stuff in that moment. And, you know, let's not be judgmental. Let's be loving and supportive. If your mentor hasn't gotten back to you, you know, just send them a loving message. Hey, you know, just circling back. I didn't get a response. Is everything okay? Just wanted to check in, you know. It's okay.
Be human first. Be human first.
100%, 100%. So let's move into the next phase of this call. I mean, we could obviously talk about community for days. It's so powerful. But let's move into the next part. And we're going to talk about how to unlock your success. So
before we do, Kylie, is it okay if I just ask Trish, you know, have you got anything you want to add to the conversation around community?
Yeah, I was just happily listening because what you were saying was spot on.
Yeah, no, but you've been with the team for 6 months now, and you've been a part of our community. So, do you want to add to that?
Look, the community is absolutely amazing. Look, looking back when I first started, if I knew what I know now, it probably would have blown my mind because I had no idea what I was stepping into and how amazing it was going to be. And apart from obviously my family, where I feel loved and part of, for the first time in a long time, I feel part of and not lonely and accepted. And I can just be me. And I have some really ridiculous moments and some really great moments. And it's just taken all in stride. And people love you for who you are.
I love that.
You don't have to be anybody but yourself. And I love it. And yes, we all have bad days. We all have great days. And we all just accept each other for who we are and what's going on in the time. And it's nice to have people around you that you can trust to be honest with. Because it takes a lot to be honest with people and to be humble enough to be open. And this here is one of those communities. And those kind of communities are very few and far between.
Yeah.
Love you, Trish.
I love that, Trish, and I love you. Just absolutely beautiful lady.
Like, and I found my tribe, my family, my friends.
You literally just took the words out of my mouth. You know, you just brought back a memory for me, you know, growing up. I was always that misfit. I just didn't fit in anywhere. You know, I wasn't smart enough to be one of the nerds. I was too smart to be one of the cool kids. You know, well, I was, you know, too sporty to be a nerd, but I wasn't sporty enough to be a sporty kid. Like I just kind of didn't fit. And obviously the black sheep of the family. And you know, I love our Dream Trips community because it's exactly what you just said. I feel like I've found my people, you know, and it's so amazing when you can turn up to a dream trip and know nobody and instantly have an amazing community of beautiful people who become those lifelong friends who you're going to go travel the world and, you know, check off epic bucket list experiences with. So yeah, it's so special.
Yeah. When I first went on my first dream trip, Kylie, I was terrified. I didn't know whether people were going to judge me. I didn't know whether people were going to make comments. I didn't know whether I was going to be excluded. I just didn't know, because people may not know, but I actually have cerebral palsy. And so I use crutches and a wheelchair, which can make life a little bit more different to most. So I really didn't know what those expectations were going to be. And it was, everybody was so welcoming. And there was no judging. And it was always inclusive. And not one time did I ever feel less than. So thank you, Dream Trips, for that opportunity.
Oh, Trish. Thank you for sharing that, beautiful lady. Thank you for having the courage to be so raw and real. Even my dogs are acknowledging you. They're barking in the background.
Yeah. And especially you, Kylie, like, thank you so much for not even making anything look awkward or hard or difficult. It just flowed, and it actually made me just be me and not worry about all the extra stuff, because that just came naturally. And I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
That fills my heart with so much love, you know, and that's what this is all about. It's making dreams come true. It's creating a dream life, dream trips community, you know, and that, what other words can I say? But thank you. I love you.
And so everybody's included in Dream Trips. It doesn't matter what your ability, it doesn't matter what age, what your values, beliefs. We're all one big family, and that's, for me, that's lifelong. Like, that will never change.
Yeah.
We can just be who we are and loved regardless.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to make me speechless. I've got no words.
I feel like I want to just end the call now. It's like,
I know, right?
Do we even need to talk about the other stuff? Because, you know, this is it. The essence, what it's all about. So
sorry, I didn't mean to get quite emotional.
I felt prompted to ask you to contribute. So obviously there was a reason. So thank you, Trish.
You're welcome. Okay, let's move on now.
I love it. Well, look, we will move on, because, you know, part of a community is actually making or you know, I'm trying to think of the words. I'm going to say squeezing you to be the best you can be, because we give lots of hugs.
Lifting you up.
But yeah, like, you know, the community can lift you up or tear you down. And so our community is all about having you be the best version of you. You living your best life. And, you know, when I was a little girl, I made a Girl Guide promise to do my best and help other people. And I love that this community, you know, allows me to do that every single day. And there are a whole heap of different keys to success, right? Like, you know, the Dream Trip success is like a big jigsaw puzzle. And so we could give you 1,000 pieces of that puzzle. And, you know, obviously we would be here for, you know, a gazillion years. But when I was talking to Jeff today, he shared 3 keys that I thought were just so powerful that we wanted to share with you tonight. So, Jeff, do you want to take it away with key number 1, and then I can add on from what you want to share?
Yeah, too easy, champion. So, like, yes, last week we did the 7, what was it, the 7 Ds. You know, so, you know, how to be successful and having the 7 Ds and managing your day and having structure and all that. This week, I want to focus on, and you know, Kylie and I want to focus on the 3 keys to success. And the first point is you got to know, what is your why? Like, what is your what hurts you story? What is your God-given purpose? What is that one thing that you know, hand on heart, that you jump out of bed each day and you would do for free? I know for me, it's helping people become the best version of themselves. And there's several ways that I can do that. And so I'm in my heart. I'm out of my head and serving from my heart. And I just jump out of bed each day And it's like being the first time in my life that I am that caffeinated kangaroo. I bounce out of bed and it's like, who can I bless today, God? It really is that conversation. Who can I bless today? Because I know that I'm just going to add massive value to people's lives by doing what I do best. So I know my why and I know my God-given purpose, right? So, Kylie, you want to ad-lib on that before I move on?
No, keep going. You're doing great.
Keep going on.
I'll wrap it at the end.
The next step is number 2. So once you know your why and you know your purpose, you need to know who it is you serve and how you can serve them. So we've said it time and time again. The number one thing that I see, and Kylie's seen, we see people spinning their wheels in the social selling, attraction marketing, digital marketing space, is they don't know who they're serving. You're trying to market to the whole pie and everybody, and your message is too far watered down. You need to find a piece of the pie that's an inch wide but a mile deep, so your message speaks to people's hearts, so it relates to them, so they resonate with them, and they can go, yeah, that's me too. And you have them sitting there doing this. Yeah, I want some of that. Yeah. So you need to know who it is you serve, but then hand on heart, you need to know how it is you serve them. What is that thing that you can show up and hand on heart that you can help them get transformational results? And that comes with, the 4 beliefs, and that's a whole nother training and another day. But, the posture and confidence comes through understanding who it is you serve and how you can serve them. And right, the third part to all this is what we were just talking about. It's community. It's tribe. You need to have that support. You need to have that person who's got your back or can help you when the chips get down, because life goes in seasons. It's inevitable. You're going to have storms thrown at you. But guess what? You're also going to have really, really awesome times in front of you too. So I don't count each day with the amount of results or sales that I make or how many people join my team each day or week. I count each day on the value that I add into people's lives. Guys, I'm a farmer. I go and plant seeds of value, seeds of gold into people's hearts. I have no idea which seeds are going to turn into a very fruitful crop. I have no idea which seeds are growing to grow into a mighty oak tree and blossom and help me to explode my team. I have no idea. So I take the judgment out of it, and I'm responsible to just falling in love with the process, responsible to showing up and serving, responsible to empowering others and helping them to become the best version of themselves. But I'm not responsible for. You got to play your part. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it is simple. We do have a proven, predictable system that you can follow. But it all starts with knowing your why. You got to know your own why. So when it gets really tough, you've got that thing that'll push you forward. I can't motivate you. You have to motivate yourself. You have to become a self-feeder. I could teach you how to fish. I could fish for you, but I'd rather teach you how to fish. Yeah, so you've got to know your why. Know your why. When the chips are down and you've got support around you, you'll stick it out and you'll get through the other side. Know who it is you're serving and know how you can serve them, and then just have your community around you to support you through those processes. You got those 3 key things. Success is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Thank you, Jeff. Amazing as always. And honestly, it's so just makes me so proud listening to you share with conviction and passion and confidence compared to the person who I knew when I first introduced this to you 2 years ago. It's just, I just love watching you become the best version of you and grow every single day is awesome.
And thank you for your patience, grace and understanding and mentoring and support to help bring that out in me. Like, that's what it's about, right?
It so is. And, you know, I've been blessed to have lots of mentors along the way too. And your mentors will change, guys, because, you know, you should learn and be a sponge around everything that you can get from your mentor. And then you should be looking for the next level, the next mentor. And, you know, sometimes your mentor will always be your mentor. Sometimes they'll flow in and out. Sometimes, like Jeff and I, you get to the point that, you know, I've taught Jeff everything that he needs to know. You know, and so now we're running together, which I absolutely love. But just circling back, just as a quick recap, you know, when people lose their way and get off track, it's because they've disconnected with their why. And I know a lot of people really struggle when it comes to, you know, finding out what's your why, what's your purpose. And, you know, if you don't know what that is, it's okay. Just have a goal. Because I know myself, when I've got a goal of, you know, what's my number one goal for this year? Oh my goodness, like I would do anything, move heaven and hell and earth and whatever to make that, you know, happen. And, you know, for me last year, it was to actually buy this house. I wanted to buy my kids and, you know, this house so that we had our own home. And, you know, it was a crazy story of how it happened. It was our miracle home, but it happened. And, you know, I've had goals this year, but as Jeff shared, you know, it's been a bit of an interesting year and I've been pulled and, you know, and it's only really now that I've come back to really focusing on what's that next goal. And it has changed. The goal that I set at, you know, the beginning of the year has changed to what it is now. I actually have a slightly different vision now. But as soon as you get that new vision or you set that new goal, it's amazing how I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning now without an alarm every day. Like I'm excited to, you know, live into that new vision, that new goal, and to be the best version of myself. So if you're feeling tired and, you know, you're like, oh, everything's so hard. Well, actually, you're not tired. You're just uninspired because you don't have that goal. You don't have that dream. You haven't uncovered that why. And maybe, you know, it doesn't seem to be big enough for you just yet. It doesn't matter. Just pick something and work towards that, because it's when you actually start in action working towards something, you might actually, and it happens all the time, it's called the processional effect, where you actually find your true purpose at 90 degrees to the direction that you are heading. So, you know what I mean? You know, this is my goal, this is my vision, this is what I'm doing. And, you know, Jeff and I had an incredible, very successful business coaching program that we ran together. And we were both running that together. And then all of a sudden, we both ended up going 90 degrees with DreamTrips because that's, you know, and that was the thing that really fueled our fire and was a big part of our vision. So don't worry if you don't think that's the one. Like, just start with something and you'll figure it out along the way. And again, just trust in the process. When it comes to, I had all of my notes here in front of me and I've touched my phone, waving my hands, and I've lost my notes. So service, knowing who you serve. So Jeff talked about, you know, who do you serve? Who do you help? You know, I want you to just realize, you know, a lot of people aren't successful in network marketing because they actually treat it like a hobby, not a real business. And if you treat it like a hobby, it'll cost you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. And so a lot of people join network marketing because they see an opportunity that, oh my goodness, I could make 6 figures a year. I could make 6 figures a month. I could make 7 figures a month. Yes, all of that's possible if you treat it like a real business. And one of the things that you need to do if you're a real business, and having been a business coach for 20 years, I've been self-employed for 30 years, you have to nail your niche. You need to be really clear on that, because if you don't, you know, your marketing won't work because one message does not connect with everybody. So for you to be able to speak to that person, you need to be really clear. But I also know, having coached people through this process literally thousands and thousands of times, people go into fear and scarcity. Because I think that anyone could join my business. Like, my product can help everybody. And hey, who doesn't love holidays? Who doesn't want to save on holidays? Wouldn't everyone want to get paid to have holidays? But the challenge is, if you're trying to attract everyone, it's just really wishy-washy and it's just not going to work. Whereas with Trish, if she's wanting to help other people with disabilities, to be able to join a community where they belong, where they feel loved and supported, where they can thrive and have amazing holidays with their family and create a second income so that their partner doesn't have to work so hard to be at home, you know, to be able to support the family unit, you know, that's going to be a very different message to myself. You know, I attract successful women who've lost their mojo, you know, women who, you know, they're in that 30s and 40s, kids are starting to get older, and all of a sudden they've got to refine who they are after wearing that mum hat for so long, and actually, you know, taking back their power and being successful once more, but also doing that from a place of fun and freedom and family and fulfillment, and, you know, building a business with balance instead of having to work harder and be super stressed and burnt out. And, you know, Jeff is very different because he's serving dads, and he wants to help dads in a similar way to myself to be able to break free and have time with their family. So, you know, we're all serving different niches, but it's amazing how beautifully it comes together. And it's not that you're not going to, you know, bring on other people who fit outside of your niche. Like, you know, I love working with women, but most of the people I recruit are actually men. Weird how that works.
It's the other way for me.
It's hilarious. But, you know, Jeff's known as Laptop Lifestyle Dad. So it's all about being really clear on that marketing message, and the right people are going to come to you anyway. They always do. But I just want to be really clear that when you do nail your niche, it will give you confidence at the next level. And you might nail your niche for now, and then you might change it in 6 months. You might change it in 12 months. And that's okay too. Just like identifying your why, just start with something for now. You're going to, you know, it's going to be molded over time. You're going to tweak it. But eventually, once you get crystal clear, like, boom, like everything will explode for you. And I've seen that exact thing happen with Jeff. And the last thing of embracing the community, you know, this can be we can get stuck in our heads, and it can be a really lonely world when you try and do this on your own. And, you know, even, you know, whether you're on this call live or if you're catching the replay, like, you know, we're a bit like our phone. You know, I've got my iPhone here. If we don't connect it to the power source, what happens? Like, it dies, right? It doesn't work. And it's the same with any business, and especially a network marketing business, and absolutely with DreamTrips. We have so much support with our community. You know, you just got to plug in, and then you get recharged, and then you come off a call fired up and excited, and you're ready to take action again because you reconnect with your people. You know, you get refueled, you know, just engaged, excited. And, you know, we are so blessed that, you know, with our team, we do our Tuesday night Dream Team Hour of Power. Friday morning, we have a company call run by either our owners and CEO or one of our top global leaders. And so even if you've got a shitty leader or a shitty upline that you don't like, great, plug into the global stuff because we've got you. The support is still there. You know, Jeff and I were on a call with Micaiah this morning. Like, you know, he's in the US. He doesn't benefit from us. We don't benefit from him. We're in separate, you know, teams, but we're one big team. We're one big community. We all come together and we love and support each other. And, you know, I get up at 4:30 a.m. to jump on that weekly call with Micaiah. And oh my goodness, like I just feel so good after that call because, you know, it just gets you fired up again and reconnected and replugged in. So super, super, super important. Trish, I know that you didn't know those 3 points that Jeff and I were going to cover, but, you know, what's your thoughts on those?
I agree with them all. You need to plug into your community because if you don't plug in, you disconnect. Yeah, I agree. Like there's been a few times where I haven't connected into my group and I haven't connected into Jeff for a couple of days, and he's actually checked up on me and rang and said, "Are you okay?" Yeah. I love that. Like, that is awesome. I actually know people actually care, which is huge, huge.
Yeah, not just a number.
We're actual real people. We're not just a number. And I loved that you're just spot on. Like if you connect into these meetings and Zoom calls, you get really, really fired up and you're on fire. So if you do that continuously, you're going to be continuously on fire. So therefore, you're going to get some really, really positive results. Yeah. Like it's a bit of a no-brainer, really.
And you just never know. Someone might just share something on that call. There's going to be the thing that you needed, for the team to drop to go, now I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Fraser Brooks, he basically coaches on this, and he's every time you come into an event, a corporate meeting, a team training, you're getting another piece to the puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get the 100 pieces, the 1,000 pieces of the puzzle, you got to keep showing up to the events, to the trips, to the trainings, to the calls, and you're going to get another piece of the puzzle. Hey,
I have to just say, I literally, because I just plugged into my phone, right, into the thing, it says battery now sufficiently charged.
Very good, timely, very timely.
Sorry, timely. So
and the same with your mentors. Like my mentor will always be Jeff and Kylie. Like they will be my number one till probably the day I die. But that doesn't mean I can't go and look at other people and get their advice and listen to what they've got to say. Because I've learned some real nuggets from other people too. And I think if you get variety, as long as it's the correct variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you've got the basics and you've got the structure and the systems in place, you can then look at it and you've got your goal. That's the big thing. That's another thing I've been coaching on too. You need to have your goal as your true north.
Yeah.
And everything's judged then. How's it going to help me run faster to achieve my goal?
It's just going to bring me closer to what I want.
How's it going to get me to achieve my goal? You know, so everything is judged through that lens. And if the answer is yes, it's going to, I can see that thing's going to help me get to my goal closer. Great.
If it's not,
go for it.
If
it's not, and it's a bright, shiny object and it's a distraction, then that's when you need to put it aside.
Totally, 100%. So what you guys are saying is spot on, definitely.
Thank you,
And definitely with your why. Like you need to know what your why is, because you're right. Like you become unmotivated sometimes. You need to think about your why, and that'll fire you up. And I'm sure down the track, your why will change a little because life changes. So it may not be exactly what it was when you first started.
Yeah.
And it will mold and change over time, but you need to know what your why is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because other people will want to know what your why is too. And so if you don't have a why, well, you haven't got a story to talk to them about. So you need to have your why.
Jeff, that's a perfect segue into the last part of this call, which is about sharing your story. And you need to know your why to be able to share a story powerfully. So I actually think what we might do is we'll kind of break this into a bit of a question and sharing story time, if that sounds good for everybody. Just to wrap up what you just shared about having different mentors. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a bit of a mermaid. I love the water. I live in the Whitsundays. And at the beginning of this year, I went and did my coxswains, which basically allows me to drive commercial boats up to 12 meters. And, I had an amazing mentor who took me through the course. Captain Callahan has written books, like he's the highest, most accoladed pilot and captain, I think, in Australia. So I was so grateful to be able to learn from him. But then when I went out and, I got employed by this company, the lady who is our lead skipper, oh my goodness, like I learned so much from her that was different to what Cal taught me, but it layered. Cal gave me all of the foundations that I needed, but Donna gave me the next level. And then we had this other skipper in our team, Tony, and I did a couple of runs with him, and he had a very different approach to Donna. They both did the job. They both were, safe and compliant, but they had their own way. And, now my style is a little bit of Cal, a little bit of Donna, a little bit of Tony, a little bit of me, just like the song, a little bit of, but you've got to find your way. Yes, you got to find your why, but you also got to find your way. And what I love about any network marketing business is this is your business, it's your life, and you get to do it your way. Yes, you have to be compliant. You got to follow systems because we have a proven system, but you get to get your personality into it. There's so many ways you can build this, and you got to find that way. And there'll be things that you're going to take from Jeff and go, man, Jeff is amazing because he does this. And then there'll be other things you go, oh, Jeff's doing my head in. I don't want to do that. And then there'll be calls you jump on with and go, oh my gosh, Kylie's amazing. I love this about her. And then, a month later, oh my goodness, Kylie's just too much. She's doing my head in. I can't stand this thing. And it'll be the same with everybody. And this is the thing, you got to remember, we're all human too, but you got to just take all the pieces and then put them all down and then go, right, make your picture, make your puzzle, take the right pieces that are going to work for you. Because, you might love 20% of what Jeff does. Maybe you love 20% what I do. Maybe you're taking 20% from what Trish has shared. Maybe you got 20% from somewhere else and 20% from who knows what. You made it up. No. And again, that's going to grow and evolve as you grow and evolve and get to different levels as well. So yeah.
We're all built.
Student, always be open to learning. We're
all building on the shoulders of giants. And one thing I like to say now is you come across other people's stuff and whatnot, and you try it on. It's like going into a clothes store. You try it on, and if it fits and it serves, great. Run with it. If it doesn't, put it up on the coat rack. You've gone into it with an open mind and an open heart, and you've at least tried it on.
I think one of the things I love from all of these training calls and seminars and books you read and whatever, I like to think after you want to be open when you jump on a call to take in all of the knowledge. And then what you want to do is you want to have like a filter or a sieve that you're putting all of that information through. And the first one should be, is that in alignment with my values and who I am as a person? That's the first layer, right? And so some of the things that someone says might be like, oh, well, that doesn't fit with my values. So that's going to come out of the first layer. And you keep sifting, right? And then you get to the next layer. Like, is that actually in alignment with how I want to build my business? And, and eventually you'll take away, okay, well, out of that call, I'm taking away these 3 things, and the rest of them, you just get to dump them. And that's totally okay. So no matter what training that you go to, you should always be thinking at the end, what were the 3 things, or what was the one thing that you're taking from that call? And then just let the other stuff go. Because I know I used to go to trainings and I would take a gazillion pages of notes to the point that my hand was sore from writing so much. And I'd be trying to take it all on, and I'd be so overwhelmed, and there'd be so many things, and so I don't do that anymore. It's like, maximum, what are the 3 big things? But I always go back and reread my notes. I spend time after the training, but then I also put it in my calendar for like a week, a month, whatever the time frame is later, to revisit those notes, because your brain can only take on so much. So, we probably already shared too much in this call with you guys. You're probably already in information overload, but I want to wrap up with how to powerfully share your story. Because facts tell, stories tell. Sorry, facts sell, stories tell. Facts tell, stories sell. Oh my gosh, I can't even get the words out. This is what you call menopause brain. My brain doesn't connect with my mouth anymore. Let me just try that again. Facts tell, stories sell. So let me unpack that a little bit first. So a lot of people, when they get into network marketing, and I've seen this in DreamTrips and all companies, is they're trying to convince their family or friend or, whoever's following on social media that, how amazing their product is, how amazing their opportunity is, all of the information and why you should.
Guilty.
We've all been there. And we're fire hosing people with information. And one of my mentors used to say, the less you say, the more you make. Because if you're trying to sell it and give them all of the information, you're telling them. You're like being a used car salesman trying to convince them to buy the thing, to join the thing, versus be a product of the product. Be someone that people are interested in, who want to come and join you. And you do that by sharing stories. And so what I'm going to do is step by step, I'm actually going to get Jeff and Trish to share their stories in a second. So I'm just going to ask some questions, and you guys are going to know what they are really easily because it's all stuff you know. So Jeff, I'll start with you. So let me know, what's your full name and where are you from?
Jeffrey Ross, and I'm from Launceston, Tasmania.
Awesome. And Jeff, just give me like a little bit of your background, like, before DreamTrips, who were you? What did you do?
So grew up on horse studs and cattle stations, had an accident, the horse jumped on my neck and had to get into the digital marketing arena. So since 2009, I have been a digital marketer.
Got it. And single, married, kids, no kids?
Yes, so proud father of 3 awesome boys, all under the ages of 12. And married, very happily married.
Nice. So what was the challenge that you were dealing with? What was the pain or the problem that had you join DreamTrips as a potential solution?
Yeah, so there's two sides to that. There was the product side of it. So Sarah and I had always had a heart and really wanted to, travel. Both Sarah and I had traveled, but the world before we got married, and we know the enrichment and the memories and everything that comes with through travel. And we really had a heart to take our family traveling around the world. And when you get to a family of 5, everything gets pretty expensive. Flights get expensive, accommodation gets expensive, and everything's times 5. So, being, pretty successful in what we were doing, but we still couldn't justify the 10, 20, $30,000 trips to go around the world, with a family of 5. So what we did was we compromised. We understand the value of adventures and experience and stories. But we compromised, and we went camping. And we invested into a pretty decent camp setup, and we go camping 3-4 times a year, but it was a compromise. So that's the pain that we were facing when it comes to travel. And then there was also the business opportunity side of it that really attracted me more than anything, was because I was on a disability pension. I'd been forced out of the traditional workforce, and that's why I got into online marketing in the first place. I always knew that there was a way to provide for my family through providing an online income. And it was, for the last over a decade, been really attracted to the whole laptop lifestyle. And, I've had close success in making it happen, but nothing really ever sustainable.
And so what do you think has had you be successful with DreamTrips?
So the support, the community. I came into the whole thing because of the product. And I came in because of Kylie and who she was, so over the last decade, I've dabbled in different multi-level marketing companies, and I was never really right into them because the whole weight loss products and all of that sort of thing. And I sold them okay, but I never did anything really amazing with those companies. And it wasn't for me. So then I'd move on. So, I came into DreamTrips with an open heart and an open mind because it was travel. I want to travel, and I could see how it could help my family travel and help others to do the same thing. Like, that's easy. Travel's a very sexy product, right? Everybody wants to try to travel. So, I don't feel like I actually sell anything. I just share and share this amazing club with people, and I just get out there loud and proud. And I just want to be able to help bless people with this amazing opportunity. So it's that's in the belief in the product and becoming a part of something that I really truly believe in. And that's helped me to believe in myself and all of that. So that's the key ingredients I feel that's made me successful today.
I love it. And so just tell us, what does life look like now as a dream tripper out the other side?
I was actually just reflecting on this just last week, actually. So before DreamTrips, I'd probably traveled overseas once or twice in 10 years. The last 12 months, actually, like next week, I'm going on my 4th dream trip in 12 months.
Wow.
I went to Hawaii in November 2022 on my first one. I took my family on our family dream trip to Fraser Island off the coast of Queensland last June and had an amazing time there. I went over to Punta Cana. It was a 55-hour flight to get there, but went to Punta Cana and had an amazing time there. And next week, actually, I'm off to Mexico. So life is now full of adventure, full of joy, just full of passion. And before, after COVID, I lost my digital marketing business because, I niched down in the health industry and the lockdowns and all that. I lost my business overnight. And I was actually saying this to Kyle the other day. I actually got very depressed through that. I lost my mojo and it was hard to get out of bed each day. Now I bounce out of bed and I just love in life, and it's a complete opposite experience.
I love it. Now, I have a gorgeous boy called Zach, my terrific 13-year-old. He has a bonus question for you, Jeff, which is written on the whiteboard for me. Can you see that? What is your best favorite dad joke?
Of course you did, Zach.
He's in the background cracking up laughing. He's so, see, we always bring the fun, people, even our kids.
So my best one and my most favorite one, especially when meeting a completely new person, is how much does a polar bear weigh? Don't worry, I got no idea either, but I'm sure it's enough to break the ice. Now the ice is broken. It's lovely to meet you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jeff. And it's just so awesome to do this business with you, babe. Just absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me and bringing me into this awesome opportunity.
So that's all about. And you've now paid it forward with Trish. So I'm going to allow you to interview Trish and get Trish's story.
Okay.
Cool. So Trish, let's just start with, what's your name and where you're from, and are you married? Do you have kids? Yeah.
Okay. So my name is Trish Howard. I am from Launceston, Tasmania as well. So hello, Jeff, around the corner. I'm married. I've been married for 8 years. 8 years. I have 5 grown stepchildren and 1 child with my husband, a 7-year-old boy.
Nice. Well, thanks for sharing. So what made you say yes to DreamTrips? And before you answer that question, what did life look like before DreamTrips?
Before DreamTrips come along, I'd done a bit of temping work in reception on and off over the years. I never have a full-time job because my body just doesn't allow that constant work and constant pressure on my body. So I've been temping in and out for quite a few years. Was on a disability pension myself, very similar to you, Jeff, on and off. And then I was a stay-at-home mum for quite a while when Josh was a baby because I wanted to take that opportunity to be at home where I could while he was little.
Mm-hmm. And you shared with me earlier on in the journey, your husband, how hard's your husband working?
Oh, my husband is a disability support worker. He works in group homes and out in the community as well. And he works 2 jobs to provide for us because for me, like I said before, I'm not working full-time. I wasn't working full-time. It was a bit in and out for me. And so he provides the work of 2 people, which I absolutely love and adore him for that. But that also means a lack of time with family spent together to be able to do that.
So what made you say yes to joining DreamTrips?
Very similar to your story a little bit, Jeff. I love the idea of going on a holiday. I love holidays. And I thought, well, that might be a great opportunity to spend time with the family at the same time and making amazing memories because, like we've talked about before, kids don't remember what they got for Christmas 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but they definitely, and now definitely speak from experience, they definitely remember what holidays they went on. So that was my first point of call of why I decided to join. My second point of call was, okay, well, I'm home. I might as well do something with my time constructive rather than just sit around watching Netflix, because that's what I got to the point where I was just kind of watching Netflix for the day and not much else and kind of getting a bit depressed in that. So I thought, well, I might as well earn some money from home. So, and hopefully, in the near future down the track, if I'm earning an income from home, well, ideally that would mean my husband could work less hours because I'm bringing in an income. Less hours means more quality time with the family. So it would be a win-win situation.
Yeah. And that's our goal, right? We're working to free Chris up from having to work 2 jobs.
That's right. If we can get down to 1, that'd be great.
Yeah. So what is, you've been on your first dream trip just recently, last 2 or 3 months ago now. Yeah. So what's been the impact of that and what's life now like now you're a dream tripper?
It was amazing. It was probably one of the best trips I've been on, emotionally wise and family wise. It was just awesome. I don't think anything compares. I've been on a few trips over the years, but nothing compared to that. And also I just know that I know what's ahead of me in the future is going to be awesome and amazing. And I can't wait to see what's around the corner because I know there's going to be some amazing trips. There's going to be some amazing lifestyle changes. And I just can't wait to see what happens, not only with myself, but with our team. Like, we're an awesome team, and I just can't wait to see what we evolve into.
So awesome. Thanks.
Go Team Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
Thanks for sharing, Tricia. It's been beautiful to watch you blossom You know, you
Thank
go
you.
from that caterpillar to the butterfly that you are now. And
Yeah.
and thank you for allowing me to be your guide on that journey. I truly
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And again, I say this to everybody. It's not hard. It's really not hard. You just have to be consistent and have that, you have your why and be on board with it and really want to, do this.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard.
Appreciate
If
you.
I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's right. If I can do it, anybody can do it. If Kylie can do it, anybody can do it.
That's right.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this call tonight and sharing from your hearts and serving as the servant leaders that you are. And for everybody who is catching the replay, I hope that this has given you a little bit of an insight as to what our Dream Trips community is all about what our team is all about. And, some people join because they want to create an extra income. Some people join because, they want a holiday. People join for different reasons, but ultimately they stay because of the beautiful community that we have. So that was our mission tonight, to share with you just what being a Dream Tripper is all about. And I hope we've touched your hearts. And what I hope is that we can be sharing your story and inspiring other people in the future, because that's what this is all about. So on that, thank you for giving us your most precious resource, your time. We've absolutely loved you hanging out with us. Please leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, connect with us. If you want to join us, you'll find us in the description. There'll be links and all that kind of stuff to get some more information. But the most important thing, the one thing that you'll never get back is your time. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you woke up 10, 20 years from now and nothing had changed, would you be disappointed, or would you be okay with that? And if not, you need to do something. You need to actually take some action. And it would be our absolute honor to welcome you into our community, to support you through getting started through our step-by-step system and teaching you to be one of our top successful leaders and sharing your success story online as well. So our wish for you is that life is everything you've ever dreamed of, multiplied by infinity, because you, your family, your dreams and your goals are all absolutely worth it. So we can't wait to welcome you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the inside. Bye. Good night, guys.